Welcome to the Overview Podcast, where we talk about the many series of novels that you've most likely have heard of. This week, we will talk about the many adventures made in the Percy Jackson series. From killing monsters, traveling across the country, having godly parents, to making friends. You won't hear it anywhere else but here with me, Alejandra Rodriguez. Plus our spectacular guest, Isabella Lopez. Hello, we're with Isabella Lopez. I'm gonna call her Bella,
Because Isabella is the government name.
Because Isabella is the government name, and we don't do that here. Anyways, we're gonna talk about book 1
Of the Percy Jackson series.
Yep, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. So in the first book, first chapter, they talk about his school life. He's a 12-year-old little boy that knows nothing.
He's a little nerd.
He's a little nerd. He's also really immature, but I mean, it makes sense for his age.
Yeah, he's an ADHD, dyslexic, little schooler.
That's been kicked out of many schools.
Yeah, he's a bit of a troublemaker.
He is a bit of a troublemaker. He's been in private schools, right, his whole life?
Yeah, I think he tried public school and then it just didn't work for him.
It didn't work for him? No, you're absolutely right.
It's vibes. This public school life is not for me.
It's not for him, no. We're introduced to Grover.
His BFF, best friend forever.
His BFF, best friend forever, for sure. Most of the time, though, Percy spent his time protecting Grover, though, from bullies, because he appeared disabled.
Yeah.
But, you know,
People picked on him.
because they're middle schoolers,
Yeah,
of course.
middle schoolers.
In reality, Grover's not a weak kid.
No, he's actually a satyr.
A satyr. And he wasn't the only one actually being undercover. We had Mr. Brunner.
Mr. Brunner. Chiron.
Chiron.
Yes, Chiron is watching over him because Chiron kind of has the vibe that Percy's a magical demigod. And then obviously Grover sent as his protector, which is just a satyr who gets assigned to demigods and helps them come to Camp Half-Blood. So Sally Jackson is Percy's mom. Sally and Percy decide to take a summer vacation type
To
thing.
Montauk? Is that how it's pronounced?
Montauk, yeah, I think that's
Montauk.
how it is.
Period.
So they go to take this vacation at Montauk. No, it's a beach, and they stay in this cabin, and Percy's this is where my mom met my father, but he doesn't know who his father is yet.
Yeah.
So obviously they met on a beach because that makes sense.
That makes sense, yes.
Poseidon. And so a big storm happens there, and then Grover shows up out of nowhere, right?
He came running, knocking on that door.
He's we gotta leave, bestie.
We gotta leave.
We gotta go. And then the mom was like, oh, I feared this day, but I never thought it would come so soon.
It was a little dramatic, but...
It was a little dramatic. And then to the lake, they took Gabe Ugliano's Camaro.
78.
Red 78 Camaro, beautiful car that he does not deserve. And so they are driving, they're going vroom vroom, and then Sally Jackson's like, I know where to take you, because she knows, she does. And
she knows everything.
She does. And then they're driving through the storm, and it's vroom vroom, and then a Minotaur attacks them.
Comes out of nowhere.
While they're vrooming in the car. In the rain, in the wind. It's so chaotic.
It really is.
So the Minotaur causes them to crash. And then, oh my gosh, no. But Percy found out that he was a goat before they got in the car, right? Satyr, before they got in the car, right?
They were in the car, I think he noticed when they were at the car, but before the Minotaur showed up.
Right, before the Minotaur showed up, Percy's processing everything right now. He's my best friend has goat legs. Also, we're driving in the red Camaro in the rain, running from a Minotaur, and then boom, crash! And they get attacked. And Grover's ugh. He's out, and
he's
then
knocked out.
Sally Jackson is kind of trapped, and then she's like, "Run, Percy!" Because they're almost at Half-Blood Hill right now. And then he's like, "No!" And then he tries to save his mom, but then the Minotaur gets her,
and then she dissolves
in golden light.
In the golden light.
And it's tragic. It's tragic for poor Percy. And then of course,
so much trauma.
so much trauma already in the first book.
It was all in one chapter too.
Yeah. So much.
So much to unpack.
And then he turns on his Ultra Instinct mode, and then he goes and he bites the Minotaur with his. No, he doesn't have the sword yet, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so he bare hands bites the Minotaur as an 11-year-old boy, right? He's 11.
12.
12 as a 12-year-old boy, and he breaks off the Minotaur's horn.
Free horn.
Free horn, and it's a spoil of war. And so he basically kills the Minotaur.
That was his second kill, and he's just a 12-year-old boy.
That's true, because he killed
really
the Fury.
impressive. Yeah,
he has the potential.
He has the potential.
Yeah.
Yes.
He said gifted and talented program for demigods.
No, literally.
Yeah. And so Grover over the barrier of Half-Blood Hill, and then passes out.
Yeah. He's knocked out for 3 days?
Yes.
A week?
I think
Something
it's
like
3
that.
days.
3 days.
And while he's knocked out in the Half-Blood Hill Infirmary, our bestie Annabeth is introduced.
Period.
And
Nice.
she's feeding him nectar
And ambrosia.
Yeah. So then he gets to Half-Blood Hill. He slays, meets Luke.
Well,
he finds out about the whole world of demigodness.
Yes, he's in so much denial.
Yeah, he's just he's copium, you know.
He's struggling a lot.
He's struggling to understand the reality of the situation. He's Mom's gone, best friend goat, and cute new girl.
Pretty like a princess, it says when she was introduced.
Oh, yeah, but has stormy gray eyes.
Stormy gray eyes.
Yeah,
nice, beautiful blonde curly hair.
And so Chiron. Oh yeah, and then he finds out Chiron is also a centaur.
A centaur, yes.
Yeah, centaur Chiron.
And he's no longer Mr. Brenner.
And he meets one of my favorite characters, Dionysus.
That's your favorite character?
One of. Because I feel he's just so funny.
Mr. D?
Yeah.
His attitude is kind of funny.
Here's the thing. He gets Percy's name correct in the first book. The first time that he meets him.
The first time that he meets him, yes.
So he knows. He knows Percy's name. He just chooses not to say it correctly. Which I'm oh my gosh, I love you, Mr. Dionysus. Because we stand. He said, Percy, I'm not going to let you get a big ego. I'm just going to mispronounce your name. So you, never get the satisfaction. And I'm okay.
Okay.
As is your right. Yes.
Clarice.
Oh, another character introduced. Yes. She's
Big bully.
Big bully.
Ares.
From the House of Ares.
Daughter of Ares, yes.
Yeah. And she's
tried to
in the toilet.
Yeah.
And then the toilet explodes on her. So
toilet, showers, and everything. All the water going.
She gets drenched.
Plus the two bullies that are
Percy is water boy, but he doesn't know that
he doesn't know he's water boy yet.
Yeah. And it's a major discovery. Okay, so
everyone gets soaked.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's chilling in the Hermes cabin, where he meets bestie Luke
with his shoebox. With the Minotaur horn.
He only has a shoebox of belongings with the horn.
With the horn.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
It's super sad.
But.
And so bestie Percy is training and fighting and getting good at the sword handling at Half-Blood Hill, with the help of Luke, who is bestie for now.
Yes.
Yeah. And so then they're playing capture the flag, and Percy's team wins. Luke captures the flag.
Yes. But Percy was what's the word?
He was the distraction.
The distraction.
And Percy during capture the flag, he took on 6 Ares kids.
6 Ares kids, yeah. It was a whole group.
Yeah, and Ares, if you didn't know, FYI, Ares is the god of war. So he's big, brawny. If he was in America, he would definitely own an AK. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. He probably does canonically own an AK in the books. Anyway. Yeah, he says Ares in the books mentions that he loves America because they have guns and everything.
Makes sense.
It makes sense.
Because
America's crazy for war. Anyway. So yeah, he defeats a bunch of Ares kids, and then they're oh, and he breaks Clarice's spear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He gets in the water. He's all healed and everything.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's where he discovers his water healing powers. But Bestie still hasn't put together the pieces that he's Poseidon's son yet. I don't even think he knows who Poseidon is.
At the time?
Or he doesn't register that
he could. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, because I think before the capture of the flag, Grover and Percy, they had a conversation about the big 3, which is Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, and Grover mentions the pact that they made, the promise where they're not allowed to have children.
So he's it couldn't be.
Yeah, it couldn't be. So. But it was. No, yeah, and all of a sudden, everyone's around him, right?
Yeah.
And he's in the water. You just see the big trident spew out above his head.
Yeah.
And
in the water and capture the flag?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes! Okay, I forgot about that. So Luke captures the flag.
Yes.
But then Percy's this is my moment, bestie. And then he gets claimed by Poseidon.
We've just only uncovered the first few chapters of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. If you'd like to hear more, stay tuned with us in the Overview podcast. This was Alejandra Rodriguez and Isabella Lopez. Have a great day.